Wandering Winder back with some more information on a combo that I previously looked at on the Dominion Homework series, which is Masterpiece Tower. Now, RTT has pointed out very well in the comments that, well, there is the potential to wreck this strategy a little bit by buying some masterpieces, or maybe not buying, but gaining some masterpieces without overpaying from the opponent, which is going to really inhibit your ability to drain the silver pile. Because the masterpieces will be gone. Without the masterpieces, it's hard to gain enough silvers. And in some cases, that's going to come up. But let's talk about what it needs in order to actually happen. One, you need a deck that can gain a few masterpieces fast enough that isn't just the mirror, because obviously the mirror is the mirror, so let's not worry about that too much. You can gain a few masterpieces early enough, which, okay, that's not hard to do. Everybody can just buy a masterpiece, right? More importantly, though, it needs to be able to gain the masterpieces without shooting itself in the foot. So if there's only one gain available, or one gain available very early, then just buying a masterpiece is going to slow that deck down quite a lot. And, at the end of, if I have, you know, 25 silvers in my deck and I have been denied a few masterpieces, then, like, my deck's okay. I can still buy Province reasonably often. Have a lot of money. It's not a bad money deck at that point. It's a little bit slow, but your opponent has slowed themselves down by getting a few masterpieces. So you need to have the extra gains. You need to be able to deal with the masterpieces. So usually you're going to want to be able to trash them. You need to be able to do that fast. And then obviously it's only going to be relevant if the deck that could have the extra gains, be able to deal with taking the masterpieces, have enough trashing to be able to deal with the masterpieces, and all of that stuff that fast, wasn't also already fast enough to get to winning the game anyway. Because this isn't the strongest combination ever, Masterpiece Tower. It's only something to be aware of. And that's, I guess, the big point here. The other thing is that obviously this combo is super weak to discard attacks, so attacks can slow this down. Junking attacks, a little bit less so, unless they're lightning fast to get you junked a lot. But because your deck ends up so thick, junking attacks don't hurt it that much, although they are something still to watch out for. But discard attacks really do wreck this combo, and so that's, I think, a really big deal. I also want to point out, though, that there is some counterplay on this combo, which sometimes you should just even get anyway, as opposed to straight going for the masterpieces and silvers. And that's looking for cards that can boost your economy, particularly ones that are cheap enough. So things that cost less than 6. Almost certainly, if it's going to help your money more than a silver early on enough, you're going to want to get that. Maybe not in a mirror. You still go for masterpiece overpay for 2 on 5, but usually you're going to take your smithy variant or your treasure or something that makes 3 plus money in a lot of cases. The other thing, yeah, no, I guess that's it. On 6, sometimes even it's still worth it. Usually on turns 3 or 4, if you hit 6, you still take that smithy variant, that really strong economic speed card. But even a moat on 3 or 4 or something money can be good. 2, 3, 4 money moat or courtyard or something like that can be a little bit helpful. Silver gainers can help you a little bit, not that much. Jack of all trades, the most notable one, because it's not economically minusing you, as it gains you a few extra silvers to help finish the pile out, if that's something you need to do. Or Conquest, or obviously there's the bigger combos with Masterpiece and Fiadum and Guildhall. So all of that kind of stuff can play in as well. Hunting Grounds is a 6, which really helps this strategy a lot as well, and something you should take. Here we're going to open Sinister Plot. Sinister Plot should also help significantly as you take a big plot, and you want to take a single big plot turn to get the biggest possible overpay. So let's keep adding tokens even here. You obviously would need to watch for how fast your opponent is contesting you. And let's even add one more. plot. Okay, so this is 7. We're going to draw here. We get a ton of money. We can overpay for 14. And now, probably even could have waited one more turn. But let's say they're denying you 3 masterpieces. At this point, you could just buy the last 2 out and you're going to be in a good shape. So Sinister Plot is something that helps you um, along with these other cards that I've been talking about. Baker should help you. Swamp Hag should help you. Um, so let's open silver, and we really want to be spending our coffers here on a big overpay. So we're going to wait for that for the coffers. So here we get our first chance at a big overpay, and we'll do that. Swamp Hag makes 3 money, so it's probably good enough. It also disrupts your opponent a little bit, unless their gainer isn't that fantastic. So now we move into Swamp Hag, not really the best enabler for this, but it works just fine. And here, again, we could hold off if that was going to be something, but you could see it's not the greatest enabler ever. There's still 8 silvers left. If your opponent was able to gain 3 masterpieces by turn 12 without hurting themselves too much, you'd kind of be in a world of hurt, although the Swamp Hag's probably slowing them down a little bit anyway. So that's another example. Hunting Grounds was probably really the card that you want there, and probably what I should have taken with 5 and a coffer, but oh well. Here, the best enabler for this looks like it's going to be either Envoy or Patrol. Envoy only costs 4, so we'll try that. And actually, we'll just go ahead and try them both. Your opponent would deny you a copper here. You're going to masterpiece overpay. And now let's take another Envoy on 5, because your deck is going to be so thick that they're unlikely to collide. Third Envoy, big overpay, they're probably colliding here. But you still see we're getting some massive overpays. And with 4 masterpieces left, there's 8 silvers. This is turn 12. We've gotten it down to 3 silvers, and we could just buy these out if that were an issue after turn 12. So Envoy helps. Now let's undo and look at it with Patrol, and then we'll call it a video. Get a Patrol. Again, on turns 3 and 4, you'd rather have your terminal draw card than you would have a 6 masterpiece. Patrol obviously misses the shuffle a lot, so it's not actually even the greatest here, but it's still pretty good, obviously. Just any of the smithies are reasonably good. You see you get 13 money or something. And here, with 4 masterpieces left on turn 11, down to 4 silvers left, your opponent's not really contesting you here. Maybe they're faster, but yeah, so watch out for adding smithy variants to this combo. Mostly is the biggest thing, because smithy works well with masterpiece anyway. Your smithy variants, you get a ton of money, and then you get big masterpieces, and so then you have, well, if we look at my deck right now, I've gained 7, well, whatever. I've drawn 10 cards after turn 10. I've drawn 10 cards here, and I have 15 if I include this hand. So I had 47 cards, and I had 10 fewer silver, so I had 30 silvers. So that's 60 plus 6, that's 65, divided by, my deck size was 47. 65 money divided by, wait, that's not right. It was 12 plus 60. 72 money divided by 47. 72 divided by 47 gives you a money density of 1.53. It's not quite enough to buy province consistently, but then I have the couple patrols also that are helping. I can buy province pretty reliably. That's even not that bad just for money. And then I also have the threat of some tower stuff going on. Pretty good, pretty good. So anyway, look for your Smithy variants, your other big economic fives. I think Treasurer is probably the next best big econ card. But yeah, any way to help you get just the big overpays on the masterpieces is going to help you fight against this denial strategy. But the denial strategy is something to watch out for on both sides. Is being able to deny a few masterpieces is in some cases really going to hurt. But then, of course, the biggest thing, the discard attacks. Anyway, this has been Wandering Winner with an addendum on the Dominion Homework Series.